Hi! Today I am discussing about how to understand concepts better. Currently I am into IT industry and I used to spend lot of time read documentation of certain programming languages and to understand the concepts. One of the most difficult things that I face while doing this is to understand certain concepts. When you sit for long hours, you feel numb, you feel energyless, you often feel what is happening here. I didn't get anything into my brain. These are the emotions that will come into you when you read many things, when you read many concepts. Maybe the concepts can be easy, but the concept is defined in a different way, you get confused. So here I am saying about how to understand the concepts better and to stick into your brain for long hours. So for that, after many research, many tried methods, I found a way. So when you try to understand a concept, get this 16 checklist points in your mind, or you can take a printout of that, or you can just copy paste. So this is the checklist. So these are 16 checklists to understand a concept better. So first is that define the concept. Okay, you just need to define the concept in such a way that a 5-year-old can understand. Okay, just need to be 1 or 2 sentences maximum and not long concept. Start by understanding the basic definition of the concept. What does it mean in simple terms? Okay. The second is analogies. Okay, we know that what does analogies means. Well, analogy is something that you can relate to. For example, it's rhyme, it's idea. Okay, so try to relate the concept to something you are already familiar with. Always keep in mind that can you compare it to a real life situation or another concept you already understand. Okay, so with these analogies, make sure that it is relatable to a concept that you already studied or already that you see in your past. And the third is key terminology. Key terminology is that identify any important terms associated with the concept. Make sure you know what they mean. So there are many terminology associated when you learn a concept. So take all those terms in a paper and make sure what does that mean. Okay, for example, you can break down the terminologies. For example, if it's photosynthesis or Bitcoin, you can just divide the word into bit and coin. How does this words relate to the concept? Okay, you can think like that. Then fourth one is use cases. Explore how the concept is used in practical situations. How does it solve problems or make things easier? Okay, so the very much problem in engineering is that you study many concepts, but you didn't know how to use those concepts in a practical situation. So maybe you didn't know how to use that in a practical situation, but didn't know how it is used. Okay, make sure you in level 0 you say that it is used there. On depth you didn't know, but make sure you write that. Okay, the fifth one is examples. Look for concrete examples or scenarios that demonstrate the concept in action. Or for example, if you are studying about bitcoins or technology, what are the examples of cryptocurrencies? There are bitcoins, there are Dell coins. Okay, you know that there are Shibu coins. Okay, Shifu coins. Okay, there are many coins. Studying about front-end technologies, you can write examples like React, Flutter. Okay, make sure you write those. Then the sixth one is visual aids. If available, find diagrams, charts or visual representations that illustrate the concept. Okay, make sure that you can visually draw your concept. It can be very funny. It can be just look for visual diagrams. If not, you just create one. Okay, when you create a diagram on basis of what you understand, this will stick into your mind very strongly and firmly. Okay, so make sure that you find a diagram, or just make a diagram or a pictorial representation of what it is. Okay, for example, you can do it if you are writing programs. You can just do it how the algorithm works, or how it connects, and how the process is done. You can, with arrows, with certain pictures. Okay, then the seventh one is common mistakes. Understand any common misconceptions or mistakes people often make when learning about the concept. When we start learning concepts, there can be many mistakes when you do it. Okay, so be aware of that, and create a separate column demonstrating that mistakes that can happen when you delve deep into this concept while learning. Okay, then the eighth one is benefits and limitations. Consider the advantages and disadvantages of the concept. When is it most effective, and are there situations where it might not be suitable? Okay, so what are its benefits and its limitations? How, for example, I am learning about React, where it can be used, where it cannot be used. Okay, be aware of that. For example, if you are learning about any programming language, make sure you understand where it is used and where it cannot be used, and why it cannot be used there. Okay, then ninth is related concepts. See if there are any related concepts that you need to understand to grasp the current one better. Okay, for example, if you are learning about learning mathematics, you know that you need a good understanding about the numbers. You need a good understanding about algebra. You need a good understanding about trigonometry. So make sure what all things are necessary, prerequisite, to understand this concept better. Okay. The point is hands-on practice. If applicable, try applying the concept yourself through exercises or small projects. So in programming, it is very much appropriate. Okay. So if you learn the concept, make sure you can, for example, if you learn any if statement, okay, make sure where it can be used. For example, you can do it in many your life situations. Okay, just create a small program and do it. Okay, then 11th point is teaching others. Explaining the concept to someone else can help solidify your own understanding. Okay, so when you teach something to others, you remember the emotions behind that. Okay, you remember the feeling, and it can strengthen your memory, and it can strengthen your vocabulary, etc. So make sure when you learn a concept, make sure you share it to your colleagues, or while YouTube. There are many methods you can teach the concept via YouTube and all. Okay. Then 12th point is resources. Utilize reputable sources like books, articles, video tutorials, and online courses to deepen your knowledge. 13th point is ask questions. The beauty of learning is by asking questions. When you ask questions, you get curious. When you get curious, you get much more interest in how it works or how it processes things. Don't hesitate to ask questions if there are parts of the concept you are unsure about. Okay. Then 14th point is reflect and review. Regularly review and reflect on what you are learned to reinforce your understanding over time. 15th point is connect with experts. If possible, discuss the concept with experts or experienced individuals who can provide insights and clarity. This is the most important thing. Nowadays, you have LinkedIn, you have many social media networks. You can connect with industry leaders, you can connect with engineers, you can connect with many people that are related to your niche. So make sure you connect with them and ask questions. One is how to remember it without much effort. So apart from all of this, make sure how you store your data in your brain. Okay. So how you can retain those informations very fastly without much thinking or without it. These are the 16 checklists you need to make sure while learning a concept. These checklists are shared in a PDF down below. You can download it freely. The checklist is in the description. It is there to download. You can download it freely. Okay.